YouTube, what's poppin'? Today we're looking at the satisfying death of celebrity culture. Culture. Let's see what they talking about, man.
Back in the day, it felt like celebrities were a separate class, one above and beyond us regular folks. Or at least that's how the magazines in the checkout aisle at the grocery store made it feel. But celebrities are actors, artists, athletes, and icons that people look up to for various
That's a legend
reasons.
right there.
And for the longest
Michael
time,
Jordan.
a lot of others were very invested in celebrities and their lives. I mean, they were very mysterious and had these carefully crafted PR personas that you only got to see once in a blue moon. But nowadays, it's completely different.
Kylie
And
Jenner?
people don't look at celebrities quite how they used
Justin
to.
Bieber?
In fact, I'd even assume that a lot of people these days have disdain for a lot.
Hold on. Celebrity culture is dying. Songs aren't hitting the same. Movies don't captivate us as much. And these award shows have seen record-breaking low viewership. Honestly, I gotta agree. I can't even name the last time I wanted to go to a movie theater to see a movie. But I was so excited, like, man, I gotta go see this. I can't remember the last time. No lie, it had to have been over 5 years ago. I'm not even gonna get started with the music. If you know me, you already know I've been saying the music hasn't been hitting lately. Nah. I listen to old music, old school music, man. This new gen music has been trash. It's been trash. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on award shows. Yeah.
Of your traditional celebrities. And there are two primary reasons for that. But to understand why people don't care nearly as much as they used to, we got to understand why people cared about random strangers in the first place. Fame is a term that's been around since the Romans, deriving from the Latin word fama, which meant rumor, but also great deeds that would be known for millennia. Back then, the closest things to celebrities were politicians, performers, and athletes, all of which who had the goal to be remembered after their deaths. But Latin didn't really have a word for what we call a celebrity nowadays, which is mostly about being famous while you're alive. That way you can reap all the rewards. Merriam-Webster defines a celebrity as a famous or celebrated person, and celebrities have been around for a while. Some people point to historical figures like Cleopatra, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, and more, but generally those don't quite fit our definition, or at least our modern definition of celebrity. For that specific modern definition, Columbia University names French actress Sarah Bernhardt. Sarah was alive from 1844 to 1923, and a big part of her success honestly came from the lucky timing.
I like this fit.
The rise of photography made pictures of her widely available. The penny press, cheap mass circulation newspapers, trumpeted her every role on stage and her doings off stage. Steamship and railway travel allowed her to tour the world as few actors had before. Telegraphy was brand new, and news about her could travel faster. Almost everyone had heard of her, read about her, or seen her picture.
Hey man, fame to me, being famous is when you step outside of your door and everybody notices you and swarms you. That's what I call famous. If you can't go nowhere without people surrounding you, oh, let me get a picture. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll call famous. Yeah. If you gotta have security around you 24/7, that's what I call famous, man. A lot of people got a clout. Don't get me wrong, back in the old days, Julius Caesar, a couple of other people that he mentioning. Yeah, definitely famous, because we still talk about them to this day. Yeah.
She was known across the world and was technically the first modern celebrity. I'm sure a lot of you don't know her. For comparison, she was about as big as Charlie Chaplin, Marilyn Monroe, or Lady Gaga for the people back then. But then technology started to spread, and things like the TV and the internet came around. IMDb lists the biggest celebrities of each decade as follows: the 50s, John Wayne; the 60s, Paul Newman; the 70s, Robert Redford; the 80s, Harrison Ford; 90s, Tom Cruise; 2000s, Johnny Depp; and 2010s, Jennifer Lawrence. Obviously, IMDb is missing out on a few here, especially in other categories. For example, in music, you had names like the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Elvis, and many more.
These are good examples. Let's go back.
For example, in music, you had names like the Beatles, Michael Jackson.
Right here. And I don't even really listen to the Beatles. I need to tap into them, though, because I heard that makes some phenomenal music. Don't even get me started. But the Beatles, MJ, that's the definition of famous. Yeah, MJ is famous. Elvis Presley, famous. Come on now. A lot of people are not on this level. They got clout. It's a difference. Not that it really matters, but I just had to let it be known, man. Had to let it be known. Cause people throw out this famous word too loosely. This is famous though. Let's get this understood, alright?
and Elvis, and many more. In film, you had Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, Jane Fonda, Marlon Brando, and again, many more. And in sports, there's names like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Usain Bolt, Messi, Ronaldo, and many more. This is only covering 3 major industries where celebrities are made, and there are still tons of others in politics, journalism, fashion, and pretty much any other area you can think of. As a whole, celebrity culture began to take over the mainstream, especially, like I said, as technology began to progress. Celebrities were used as marketing tools, brand ambassadors, mouthpieces for social movements, and many more things, all of which had a celebrity at the center. I think one of the best examples of like older celebrity culture is Michael Jackson. His face was on the cover of every magazine, his name appeared across tons of headlines, and he broke countless records. It's often even argued that Mike was one of, if not the most famous person of all time. His worldwide tours universally sold out no matter where he went, and when he made appearances, it wasn't uncommon for near riots to break out.
Yeah. This is what I call famous right here. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, perfect illustration, man. This is celebrity
this literally
culture.
Happened all the time.
He is probably the most famous person in the planet, God help him.
Yeah. That's what I call famous.
And a lot of this came pretty much pre-internet. Since then, arguably one of the closest we've seen from
I forgot about that. So you're right about that. What? This is before the Twitch, the Instagrams, the Facebooks. Was Facebook alive back then? I don't know, but this is really before Instagram for sure, though. Really pre-internet. You right about that. Way he was famous. You know what I'm saying? The definition of icon, iconic. Yeah.
Musician has been like Drake or maybe like The Weeknd, but even then no one has really seemed to reach Mike's level of celebrity. Regardless, this culture of being fascinated by celebrities and their activities and their whereabouts and all that has permeated almost every area of society. Today, everyday citizens play an important role in the perpetuation of celebrity culture by constantly checking the whereabouts of celebrities, their friends, the trends within celebrity culture, and the general lives of celebrities via media. Celebrity culture is viewed as a form of escapism from reality and a means of preoccupation.
I kind of like that. I like how they sign the camera. I need to do that one time.
I think really emphasizes why celebrity culture, in a way, was so popular. For example, I think MTV's Cribs really sums up why people like celebrity culture, and it was because you could escape into this world and see like an alternate reality where you owned a mansion or you had these cool cars, and then you turn off the TV and you're stuck in your crappy little 1-bedroom apartment and you're poor. However, some people suggest that celebrity culture peaked in the 2000s, with US News saying Britney Spears, Brangelina, Eminem, and Paris Hilton, just a few names that capture the zeitgeist of 2000s pop culture. Everything in this era was iconic and the public was obsessed. People could not get enough of celebrity news and scandals. That was until, of course, the recession of 2008, and then people's priorities switched a little, which is a little bit of foreshadowing for how this video is going to end. Regardless, for a very long time it felt like there was this aura or this culture around celebrities. They were these mysterious people known across the world, beloved by many, followed, watched, and studied in things like magazines and articles. They were,
and I think that's why celebrity culture is really not as impactful as it was back then. I ain't gonna say it's all the way died. You know what I'm saying? Still impactful to a certain degree, but it's not as impactful as back then in the early 90s, 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's because they always on camera. Got the Twitch, the YouTube lives, the live streams, just posting all the time on the internet. I think that's what killed the anticipation, the build up of going to see your favorite artist, your celebrity, because you already see them on the internet. It's like, why see them when I can watch them on the internet? You know what I'm saying? Why go to a concert when I can see a live performance on a TV screen? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why celebrity culture is really dead, or like I said, not as impactful as back then. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man.
Were the best of the best in their respective fields. They lived these illustrious and mysterious lives that you really only got to see a glimpse of in interviews or in a magazine. And yet, while celebrities do still exist, it seems like their significance is not nearly what it once was. While tech developments seem to have given birth to the modern celebrity, I think that's also a major role in what killed it, or at least changed the definition forever. As the years went by and platforms changed, social media micro-celebrities slowly started stealing the spotlight from the giants before them. It all kind of started with things like Vine and YouTube blowing up. Almost immediately after its release in 2013, Vine blew up with over 40 million users by the end of its first year, and hundreds of millions in years following. This created a ton of new stars or micro celebrities like King Bach, Lele Pons,
I remember
Cameron
King
Dallas,
Bach.
and even Logan Paul. The main issue with Vine was monetization, especially since it was short form content and it was still in its early development. So aside from obvious brand deals, the Viners didn't have a ton of choices when it came to making money. And if it didn't make money, it was pretty tough to compete. However, even though Vine didn't last forever, it did prove that the concept would work and even laid the groundwork for what would later come. On top of this, YouTube was blowing up with tons of micro celebrities in their own various niches. For example, you had people like Casey Neistat, who held a major responsibility in developing new forms of content like daily vlogs. Vlogs provided a glimpse into the real lives of creators, which at that time was pretty rare, especially for the PR curated mega celebrities. One of the first vloggers, Charles Trippy, holds the record for most consecutive days vlogged in a row at 3,653. The name of his vlog series is Internet Killed Television, which is a little ironic considering this video.
I don't know none of these guys.
YouTube had people like PewDiePie and Vanoss in the gaming niche. They had skit creators like Brian Higa and Smosh. And as time went on, you could find a micro celebrity that perfectly matched whatever niche you were interested in. Maybe you're really interested in music and pop culture commentary, and you found me. I appreciate you. Regardless though, the power was placed in the hands of the people rather than massive detached studios. Unlike regular celebrities, these people were a little bit more down to earth and we could relate to them. This led to some people even developing more parasocial relationships. But aside from that, this pretty much meant that fans could start choosing who was popular or who did well, rather than production companies or PR agencies or record labels or whatever else. By this point, the internet's micro celebrities had already grabbed a gigantic chunk of viewership, competing for attention with movies, TV shows, and more. But little did Hollywood know that this was just the start. Eventually, you'd have people like Mr. Beast, who are now arguably even more influential than some of the world's biggest celebrities. Clearly, the rise of social media took over and took away attention from...
Now, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I thought this was Kanye West in a Mr. Beast video, man. Yeah, man, I know I can't be the only one that thought that. Don't it look like Ye? Yeah, let me know, man.
Traditional celebrities. I didn't even touch too much on how Vine turned into TikTok and short form content took over. Don't even get me started on streamers. Streaming quickly rose in the ranks of content and amassed audiences in the millions.
Yo, this ain't gonna lie, this era right here was a great time to be alive, man. Yeah, it just brought back so many memories looking at this, man. Wow. Really inspired me, you know what I mean? Really inspired me. Can't even lie. During these days, Ada Ross was really popping back then, boy. Can't even lie to you, man.
Like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, iShowSpeed,
they really changed the game, though, for real.
And more massive creators that took over the internet with giant crowds of fans, reminiscent of the Michael Jackson ones I showed earlier.
Kai Cenat will be charged with multiple counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly. That is the latest once again from police after thousands of people came together yesterday for that giveaway held by the 21-year-old who does have more than 6 million followers on Twitch and more than 4 million subscribers on YouTube.
Celebrities are no longer able to maintain that mysterious persona I was talking about earlier. If you want to be famous, you need to be relatable, you need to be making content, and you need to keep people entertained. In a weird way, celebrities were kind of replaced by influencers. These days, the internet's micro celebrities have fully taken over. Not only have micro celebrities fragmented our minds,
it's the thing too, and I mentioned this in previous videos. Celebrities are now doing collabs with the streamers. The streamers has replaced the celebrities. No lie, in my personal opinion, that's how I feel.
With superstars being able to post any picture they wanted, fans were allowed a new look into their lives, effectively demystifying the allure of the 2000s icon. Celebrities became just like us, posting exactly how any average 20-something would with their friends. Rather than waiting for a written or recorded interview to learn more about your favorite icon, now they were online just as much as the rest of us, which I think really humanized them and led to a little bit of a decline in infatuation, aside from, super fans or parasocial people. And on top of this, I think the main thing the internet did, apart from giving more attention to streamers, YouTubers, or whatever, what it really did was open a lot of people's eyes to how weird and cringy celebrities can be. The cringe part is pretty obvious, and I think there are tons of examples of this, like this Bella Hadid one.
If Homeboy's coming through with these, it's quiet. Yeah, no, it's quiet for him. But like if he comes through in like these, you got some Air Maxes out here.
You should get paid to say this.
Homeboy's gonna like get it.
I mean, this would have never happened in the 80s. And there are plenty more examples of this. Like when influencer Naveen J says she unmatched Ben Affleck on a dating app thinking it was fake, and then he sent her this video, which she posted.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me?
There was that time Adam Levine, despite being married, was sending girls some really cringy flirt messages. Or this Zac Efron post where he says, I'm grateful for a couple things today. Martin Luther King Jr. and 10 million followers on IG, black hand emoji, and hashtag MLK Day. Like how out of touch do you have to be to think that that's a good idea to post? And this is probably one of the best examples, but do you guys remember when a bunch of celebrities were singing Imagine by John Lennon and trying to, I guess, raise morale during COVID?
Imagine all the people.
When in reality it just came off as very out of touch. I don't think most people really wanted a morale boost from other people who were stuck at home in mansions, whereas most of us were struggling to pay for things or people were getting laid off from their job.
That's an interesting take right there, man. Celebrity cringe, huh? On the internet. No disrespect to my older people, you know what I'm saying, that watch me. Which I gotta admit, you know what I'm saying? Some of the old heads, you know, even young bucks too, definitely do some cringy things. So y'all probably think some of the stuff I do is cringy, you know what I'm saying? But I am who I am, though. You can't tell me nothing. But that's besides the point, though. It could make them be portrayed a certain way. But I feel like, you know, like I said, in the late 1990s, you know what I'm saying? Early 2000s, their labels, the media will portray a celebrity a certain way, you feel me? But now it's in the power of the celebrity. They got their phones they could post on the internet, so now it's really up to them. And it may not come out the way that they think, or the way that, yeah.
And stuck in much smaller, not as nice homes. Another cringe thing that celebrities do is spam products. Every celebrity these days sells their own alcohol or beauty brand or hot sauce. It's like no matter where you look, it always feels as if
Nah, this photo too funny though. What the heck?
Celebrity is slapping their name on some mediocre, already existing brand and trying to shill something to you. I'd say sometimes it even feels a little bit more scammy than it does cringe. For example, there are a ton of celebrities that have been paid to endorse scams that they haven't vetted enough and they just promote it anyways, which has resulted in a lot of successful scams. There's even a bunch of guides online warning you not to fall for this. And I discussed this in my NFT video, but it feels like we let a boatload of celebrities get away with NFT scams or rug pulls or pump and dumps. Like for example, you may not know this, but Shaq, Floyd Mayweather, Larry David, and even Lana Rhoades, if you count her as a celebrity, were all involved in NFT scams. But for some reason, they faced little to no public repercussion. Sure, some of them may have had to pay giant fines to the FTC, but I feel like because so many celebrities did this, we as a society just let it fly and stop talking about it. It's kind of like how everyone speeds. You know, like you're expected to go at least 5 miles over, right? And because so many of us are doing it, it's like the police aren't really going to pull you over if you're going 5 miles over unless they're really bored. That's kind of how it was with the amount of celebrities that were doing NFT scams, and it's just like us as consumers were like, well, you know, they're all doing it, there's nothing we can really do about it. That's kind of how it feels. Regardless, social media not only allowed for micro celebs and influencers to take over, but it also revealed how normal and even lame a lot of celebrities are. I mean, Chappell Rowan, for example, has been fighting with Twitter and paparazzi for like years now, which has just constantly been this big PR fight that I see all the time. But being a little cringe or having the spotlight stolen by influencers is the least of celebrities' concerns, especially considering the fact that the internet and social media has made it really easy for people to see just how weird they all are. Being cringe is one thing, but it feels like celebrities, especially lately, have been going through the ringer because a lot of the commoners like us are kind of waking up to how strange a lot of their behaviors are. I feel like this has always been a thing that people have noticed, but especially lately,
and also certain clips can be taken out of context when it's posted to Twitter, to TikTok, Instagram. People doing that too. So you got to keep that in mind. The internet is really a dangerous game. Media, internet, whatever you want to call it, is really dangerous right now.
For years now, the box office has been struggling. Well, obviously, there are still big movies that come out every once in a while. It's not like what it used to be. Alicia Reese, Senior Vice President of Equity Research for Wedbush, a large financial services company, said, the reliance on franchises has been a little trickier the last few years. Yes, there's a level of certainty, but it's not a home run. It's never going to be a home run from here on out because people are pickier than they ever used to be. They know what's coming. word of mouth means more than ever. It's also likely that people would rather stay home and use streaming services instead. Things aren't how they used to be, and it takes a lot more for a consumer to want to spend their hard-earned money these days.
Hey man, I'm telling you, streamers taking over the game. We're in a new era. And you know, some people are gonna get the best of it, and then you have the others that's not. That's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. A lot of franchises don't really have that leverage anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, entrepreneurship, doing it yourself. That's the new wave. That's the new wave. Don't really need a sponsor, label, franchise. Don't really need that no more. You can do it yourself. A lot of people are getting famous, going viral by themselves. All they need is a cell phone, PC. You know what I mean? Like, don't really need too much. They doing it themselves. So a lot of people watching as many movies in theaters as they used to. Everybody on Twitch, man. On these streaming sites. That's where it's at. Not to mention too, COVID did play a role in that as well. I don't know, I'm thinking about it, because a lot of people was in the crib with nothing to do. COVID definitely played a role in that. Cause and effect to everything, man. That's how I go though.
Which leads me to the next major point. These days, it feels like there's a bit of a despair among the younger generations, and maybe even in the older ones as well. Since the American dream of owning a house seems harder and harder to reach due to exponentially growing housing prices, many people, especially in the United States, are finding it hard to drop money on expensive concert tickets or movie tickets or whatever. With how expensive everything is becoming, it's harder for fans or consumers or regular people like me and you to want to spend money or time or attention on this celebrity culture. And that's only looking at things from a financial standpoint. If you look deeper into the greater social and cultural focus of people in the world right now, there's just a lot bigger things going on. On top of all the crazy Epstein stuff I mentioned, people are focused on arguably more important things, like the various wars happening around the world. I mean, in a matter of months, the United States just captured the leader of a government, Venezuela if you're not keeping up with current events, and now we're going to war with Iran. Like, what? There's so much crazy stuff happening. Who cares what if the Kardashians ended or not? No one has the time or the money to care about all these celebrities, especially given how weird a lot of them have turned out to be. On top of them being weird, they also like to tell us what to do, and this would be political cringe. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't me telling celebrities to not talk about politics. I don't think that's a problem. I'm not one of those people, but sometimes it comes off as pretty tone deaf. Like this video that went viral when the Russia versus Ukraine war started.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I'm so sorry that I was not your mother.
Yeah, we finna end it right here. I don't really want to do no politicking, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to cut this video short. Hey, but look though, it's your boy Scotty Love. I just want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. Excuse me. Last but not least, I'm gone.